Alright, here we're back for another blind league match. This hand looks great. This is basically a bunch of wild cards and a Dak Faden. Obviously not the greatest in this matchup because we don't have any free spells, but what you gonna do, right? I think I'm actually going to just crack this so that I can cast 2 Ponders on my turn, or like a Ponder and a Thoughtseize. Okay, so this is Manaless, so it's actually a much better matchup than I initially thought, but still not great. From these cards, it's kind of tough. You want Deluge to deal with zombies, but I think it's more important to have Baleful Strix to deal with bridges, because the zombies are not as much of a problem. I should have probably checked to see. Yeah, I wouldn't know they were on Manaless. I don't think that would have changed my play too much, but we don't want any of those, so we'll shuffle. Okay, so now we have Baleful Strix next turn, and the following turn we can Kolaghan's Command to kill Baleful Strix. Alternatively, depending on what they end up putting in their yard, we can play Dak. We're really looking for our single spell bomb here. This matchup is pretty awkward. They have a chance of missing here. They did not miss. Ooh, they did not miss very hard. I'm actually just dead from this. I can't beat that many things that quickly. So let's go to the post board where we get a lot of Grave Hate tools. And we'll trim on Edict, we'll trim a Punishing Fire. Leovold is worse. And Assassin's Trophy is not very good. Similarly, Abrupt Decay is not very good. Spell Pierce is probably fine. Notion Thief is not as good as you would like it to be. Rise-Fall is passable at some stages of the game. Leon of the Veil does nothing, so I like Rise-Fall in that spot. Kolaghan's Command being instant is probably relevant versus Rise-Fall, so let's try it like... Actually, instead of cutting the Grove, I think I'm going to cut a Swamp. Yeah. No, because turn 1 discard is really important and recurring. Punishing Fire is less so. Okay, so we leave the discard in because it's effectively time walking. I realize also I messed up what I wanted to be doing. Okay, so against Manaless Dredge, you do not choose to play. This hand is great. Nile's Spellbomb is actually the Grave Hate you prefer against Manaless Dredge, as opposed to Surgical Extraction. So we'll just play the bomb, and you just basically hold this as long as you can. You don't want to crack this early. You want to hit as many of their resources as you possibly can with the spell bomb. This deck can never mulligan, so oh wow, that's super awkward. And if he or if our opponent brings that into play, I'm just gonna kill it. In upkeep, you don't want them to. I guess this doesn't matter. Actually, it's just 3 damage. I was thinking, you know, against normal dredge, or if they'd had a dredger, you want to deal with this so that they don't get bridge triggers, but they can't get bridge triggers here, so it's not a big deal. Here's the troll. Okay, let's play Brainstorm. Yeah, The discard is a lot worse now, but that's fine. This time I will kill it in the upkeep because they have a dredger and they could hit a bridge. I guess I get an underground. So they hit a bunch of stuff that isn't that important. If they... The priced amalgam is actually pretty annoying. Maybe what I'll do is I'll bomb them and... Oh wow, so them not discarding a dredger here means that if they want to use the Icarid, they have to use their only dredger. Okay, I'm going to use this as an opportunity to play DAC. Okay, and we will throw Grove of the Burn Willows, and I suppose Ponder. Okay, yeah, so nothing changes here. Now we just get a look at a lot of cards. Okay, I think we're in a pretty good spot. Untapping with DAC in basically every matchup is just great. So, discard the land that doesn't produce mana, and Brainstorm, and we're going to Spell Bomb, and then we're going to play Jace. Looking for more Grave Hate. Did not find it, but that's okay. Not ideal, obviously, but it's okay. And we'll play Baleful Strix first, Dack Faden plus ourselves. Okay, we can use Rise Fall to bounce the guy from his yard. Okay, so we're in pretty good shape now. They have actual nothing, and we have multiple planeswalkers doing their thing. I think it's probably time to start plussing Jace. I think that's how we're going to win this game. And Dack already is a card advantage engine, so Phantasmagoria. I mean, it doesn't matter. I should probably just be plussing myself because whatever's on top of their library is not important. Yeah, this is a lot of resources to take away from them, so I'm pretty okay cracking another bomb here. We hit an Icarid, a Narcomoeba, and a Creeping Shell, so yeah, I think that's fine. We've hit 2 Icarids, another Shadow, 2 Prized Amalgams, 2 Narcomoebas, so they don't have a ton of dudes left. Alright, Surgical is exactly what we want. We don't need Chase. So yeah, we're just going to Surgical their Icarids or their Prized Amalgams, or basically things that So yeah, it's going to be Icarids, Narcomoebas, and Nether Shadows. Nothing else really matters. I like how we have fewer cards in our deck than them. That's pretty amazing. We've been drawing a lot of cards. Toxic Deluge is a fine one to have access to. Oh, I didn't even notice the Icarid. Oops. Well, we're not worried about saving face here. And then we'll just surgical the amalgams. I guess we can beat that Icarid pretty easily, I think. Let's pulse ourselves. Bottom that. Yeah, let's just toss a couple of Force of Wills, and let's return the Icarid to their hand. Just be goofy. It's a pile of Nether Shadows. Wait. I should spend my mana more efficiently and kill some bridges here. Or a bridge. Let's Gate Seal. We have 3 known cards on the bottom of our library, so we're digging towards our last surgical, and we had a pretty good chance of hitting it. Shuffling there's a little annoying. In the upkeep, we're actually gonna, I think, pop this deed to prevent them from dread returning. Actually, we have Force Wills, I guess. Okay, so the Creeping Shell is fine. In fact, Creeping Chill is good for us. If they like try to use anything that gets their bridge, we can Punishing Fire. Yeah, I've played this game really awkwardly, actually. Not tagging the Icarid when they discarded it to hand size was just a huge mistake. I think I want 1 Force of Will on top of my library. Probably. And we're just going to start going Dak Fade in you. They have 2 turns. Okay, so there is 1 bridge. That's fine. Yeah, I don't want to actually give them more cards in their library, so I'm going to brainstorm. I know this can get an island. I'm not sure if I have other fetchables. Yeah. I can beat 2 zombies. This puts them at 1 Icarid in their library as far as recurable creatures go, and then we target them. So this is basically how this matchup plays. Like, you just if you don't, it's just a grind fest. Like, you're grinding, but you're grinding against sort of different stuff from normal. Let's see. I don't think that I wanted to cast Deluge there. I can... Ooh. I think if they can only Dread Return 1 time, that's fine. So maybe I was supposed to cast Deluge there. I probably was. Yeah, I'm just not playing this very well. So let's let this resolve. And then we will force... no, we will crack this for 0, and then force. And then they're out of resources for their turn, and we deck them and kill them. Yeah, it's a lot easier to win when you just draw 9 million cards every turn. Okay, so let's see. Do we want to change anything after that? So the Punishing Fires actually felt pretty good. Usually against Mana Dredge, I like the Fatal Push, but I think against Manaless, since they're slower, I want the Punishing Fires. I'm going to move cards over so we can do a quick analysis of cards that I'm interested in for this matchup, versus cards that I'm not. So you want all the Grave Hate. Pulse Marasa is slow, but because you sort of start an effective like 8 because of Creeping Chill. So Pulse Marasa really helps Just gaining life is really useful in this matchup. You can rebuy your Strixen and stuff. Rise Fall, I think, is just better than like Assassin's Trophy, basically better than any of these cards. And then Leovold is just a 3/3, it doesn't do much. Trophy has very few targets, Decay has very few targets. I think you want turn 1 access to turn 1 discard, so it's between cutting Grove and Swamp. I think it's slightly better to cut Grove. And then Liliana does very little. So. Alright, let's try this again. So this time they will give us the play. Yeah, this hand is strong. Nile Spellbomb is just great. They have a Chancellor. Luckily they don't cast any spells on turn 1, so we get to play the Spellbomb anyway. I guess really luckily they only had one Chancellor, because they don't cast any spells on one, right? I wouldn't have had the chance to like Spell Pierce to pop the Chancellor or something like that. This is fine. Feel free to Icarate if you'd like. The Narcomoeba with these resources is also fine. I'm pretty okay with Surgical. Yes, let's just eat the Icarids here. Just don't have to deal with these later. And the reason you never go after the Dredgers, by the way, is because of Street Wraith. And because they play so many. So there's almost, like there's some times when, yeah, you're supposed to go after the Dredger, but most of the time you want to just go after their cards to win them the game. Icarids, Narcomoebas, and Nether Shadows. Okay, and I'm pretty likely to just take one here. No, actually, I'm just gonna bomb that. I hit 3 bridges and I saved myself some life, so I'm completely fine just bombing that. And I would definitely block if they let me. Okay. It is unfortunate that I am not drawing cards, but I think saving the life there is pretty relevant in the way this matchup plays out. Like, those Creeping Chills are really frustrating. I don't remember what was in their hand, but I don't think there was anything interesting to it. I think it was a Shin. So I'll just save it for a Brainstorm. I could still lose here. Even though I had like both those grave hate spells, like I do need to find something to do. Yikes. That Narcomoeba is primarily annoying because of the Surprised Amalgam. If we can find... I mean, there's a large number of cards that we can find here. It's also a little annoying that they hit their 3rd bridge. Wow, these dredges have been quite good. Yeah, so I think we're actually very far behind now. we were very far ahead at the beginning, and now I think I just mismanaged my resources, and now I'm behind. That's fine. So luckily we can counter a Dreader turn, if they decide that that's what they want to do, because of Spell Pierce. Would I block? It doesn't matter. Yikes. We are flooding. Yeah, here's these creeping chills. So, how dead am I? This is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have to block the prized amalgams. Which gives them another zombie, maybe? Or, well, it gives them another zombie. There's no question about that. Oh, I will Spell Pierce that. Do they have another Dreader turn? No, so at least they're not getting dudes back this turn. Oh, they had one in hand. Okay. Balustrade Spy, okay. Do they have the resources in their deck to actually kill me? I'm not sure. I suspect since they're doing this that they do, but let's be sure. They have another Dread Return, or two Dread Returns and a Flare, and a Creeping Chill. Yeah, I'm dead. Damn. Yeah, so that's unfortunate. We got by Manaless Dredge. I think I just misused my resources in that game, and then proceeded to flood. I don't think this matchup's like actually very bad. I don't think this, I think game 1 is tough, but when you get to bring in all of your hate for games 2 and 3, it becomes much easier. Anyway, thanks for joining, and we will see you in the next one.